Yeah, I'm at my girl's place. Bitch, I don't see anyone else in here. Who's your girl? Because it sure as fuck ain't me. These are the moments in my life that I'm like, this needs to be a story time. A disclaimer, if anyone in my family sees this, I'm so sorry. Specifically my mom or my sister, I'm really sorry. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, this is why I steer clear of Tinder or any of those type of situations that you always think like, ooh, what if that happens? And then you think, oh no, it'll never happen to me. Me, I'm that person that oh, it'll never happen to me situation always happens to. Like, just short end of the stick all the time. So basically, went to the mall and I went to the Vans store because I wanted Vans for myself and they had a Toy Story collection that I was gonna get some for my nephews. Regardless, I walked in and there was like this decently cute, like attractive guy helping me out. And I just like, okay, I walked in and I got one pair of shoes for me. So I went back in and I got the second pair of shoes that I tried on. I forgot the Christmas gift that I was there to get. So I went back in to get those Toy Story shoes for my nephew. And I walked back in and he's like laughing. Like, still here? I was like, no, this is the third time I walk in. He was like, oh. I was like, I keep forgetting to get things. He's like, well, you might as well get a job here. Like, you're spending so much time here. Because I'm a very indecisive person. So I had already spent like an hour and a half inside that store making up my mind on what shoes to get, which is why I just went back and got both of them. But anyways, I met him there. Damn it, I forgot to look for the tweet. But I actually tweeted like, oh, there's this really cute guy at the Vans store. If I find the tweet, I'll like put it here. But I went home, just kind of let it be. And then one day I'm like swiping through Tinder and I was like, I think this is the same guy. So I swiped right. Ladies and gentlemen, this is part one of where your girl fucked up. About 2 weeks later, I'm leaving work and I swear I deadass like run into this guy. Because I was on my phone and I look up and I was like, oh shit, like steered clear of him like right by a millisecond. It was him. Or so I thought, because then, you know, I was like, is that him? And like I kind of eavesdropped a little bit. And he's like, oh no, he's like, it's fine, I work right next door. I was like, oh, it's not him. Like, the guy I met works at the Vans store. Then I was like, well, maybe he has 2 jobs. But I just figured it probably wasn't him. Let it be. About a month goes by. Because this, mind you, the Vans thing was like mid-October. About a month goes by. It's now Thanksgiving. I went home for Thanksgiving. Black Friday, I hung out with some friends and got a little turned, if you will. And I'm sitting there on Tinder and I get a notification. Ding! You got a new match. I was like, oh, okay. So I go and open it. It was the Vans guy. He swiped right. And then he goes, hey. And we started talking. I would show you the messages, but he unmatched us on Tinder. We'll get to that in a bit. So we just kind of started talking and he was like we made small talk and I was like, you look really familiar. Like, I feel like I've seen you before. He's like, you have. I was like, where? He was like, at my old job at the mall. I was like, the Vans store. I was like, yeah. He's like, yeah, I work at GNC now. And I was like, where? I was like, the one on X and Y Street? And he's like, yeah. I was like, oh, I thought I'd seen you. He's like, what do you mean? I was like, I work next door. He was like, oh. Ding, ding, ding. Part number 2, where your girl effed up. Telling the guy where you worked. So we just kind of kept talking that night. And then right before I like knocked out, I gave him my number. Ding, ding, ding. Part number 3, where your girl effed up. We kind of kept talking here and there, you know, just small talk. Clearly hitting on me, right? Okay, so anyways, this was sometime early December, because this was a little before we like met face to face. So he texted me one day, he's like, hey, you like laughing? I was like, I sense some sarcasm because I overuse LOL and ha ha ha. But in fact, I do that a lot when I'm texting. No, it's legit this time. I was like, for once, I was like, I don't know, it's not something I consciously think about. Why? Because I'd like to help you out with that when I fall on our date to the ice skating rink. 30 minutes later, I did not respond. He goes, I guess it's me asking you to go on a date with me. I was like, I'll be too busy freezing to laugh. He's like, so is that a yes? More of a maybe. I was like, your girl's busy AF between work and school. He sends that. And I was like, if we date, we'd text sometimes, and I just suck at responding, / I wasn't very interested. So like, he'd get a little snippy. December 6th, He texts me, sup, after a while of like not talking because I just wouldn't respond. I was like, hello. He's like, what are you up to? I was like, getting ready. He's like, oh, where are you headed? I was like, to a game with my roommate. He's like, okay, period. Have fun. Period. I was like, don't get so snippy. You know, it's gotten to the point where I can sense when you have an attitude. Because he was like very insistent. He would text me and then Snapchat me right after if I wouldn't respond within like 2 minutes. And then he'd Snapchat me again and text me again if I wasn't responding, trying to push the dating thing. And I'm like, I'm not necessarily looking. And then he goes off. He's like, it's not even me having an attitude that's the big issue. It's the effort balance. I understand you're not my girl, so you're not required to text me. Even if I were your girl, I ain't required to text you. Let's be clear. But I do try to make the effort to talk to you with minimal in return. It's not me trying to look desperate. It's me trying to get to know you because I'm interested in you. And I don't think I'm wrong for that. But like, clearly I'm not, bruh. We keep talking here and there. He showed up at work once. And he's like, I think I saw you. I was like, you definitely didn't. I was in the back. He's like, oh, damn. He's like, well, you won this round of hide and seek. I was like, it's not hide and seek. Like, I'm at work. I'm like, excuse me? At one point, he's like, blowing you up never works. And ignoring you never works. Usually, at least one of them gets attention. He's like, so what's up? I can't figure you out. Give me a place to start because I'm annoyingly persistent if you haven't noticed. I was like, I've noticed. Believe me. One day, he just shows up at work. He texts me, gotta admit, seeing you again was nice. I was like, oh, okay. The next day he texts me, hey. I was like, hi. He's like, sup. Poor little distressed college student. He's like, pick a Starbucks drink and a favorite animal. I was like, what? Why? Like, this is when shit started going downhill. So like I responded and then he's like, cool, all right. One more question for the survey. About what time would you say an employee of your profession would like to receive these items? More specifically, a stress-eating college student of your profession. And then my stupid ass told him exactly what time I was working. Ding, ding, ding. Number like what, 30 are we? He texts me, your items are ready for pickup but can be returned if you want them to. It'd be really awesome if you could get them delivered or come pick them up today though. I show up to work and one of my managers goes, hey, she's like, you got a little something. She's like, it's from a guy. Oh, okay, cool. Mind you, the guy asked for my name and still doesn't spell my name right. Like, excuse you. So I got a Kind bar, which I never ate. I got a Starbucks gift card, which later that day he used to go buy me Starbucks. Next time, just buy me the drink. Don't get me the gift card, then use it yourself. And then I got a Christmas card. If there's anything I hate is when people spell my name with one S. That has one S. My name has two. So, to Gisselle from the survey guy. Enjoy the Starbucks. The year is almost over. I just wanted to let you know that I care and that you got this. And then it says, turn to the back. If you can't leave work or if you're late as usual, send me a text for the second part of this gift. So I did just that, right? The delivery guy instructed me to deliver the package to you if you can't do a pickup. He's like 2 steps ahead. Cool guy. I was like, you're so extra. He's like, I'll bring it by right now. Are you there? I was like, yeah. He's like, on my way. He then shows up with this little baggie. And these 2 bears. Which if anyone wants, I'll gladly give them away. This was at about 4. And then at about 7 when I have to go on my lunch, he texts me, I guess I'll catch you later because I just like walked off to go clock out. I was like, I had to go clock out for lunch. He was already on his way out of the store to the bus stop. And he walked back in. Ding, ding, ding. He comes and sits with me at Starbucks and is like all up in my space. And then he starts like nibbling on my ear. Please stop it. Does not stop. I was like, I need to study or I'm going to fucking fail everything because it's midterms week. And he was like, okay, I'll help you study. I was like, he stuck around till midnight when I got out of work. Are you planning on spending the night? I was probably going to be out by 5 so you could do your thing in the morning. But yeah, I'll make sure I leave early enough. Did you get the part where I didn't necessarily invite you over to spend the night? Like, huh? Did you miss something? Walked home with me. And then proceeded to try and help me study. Which turned out into a makeout session. Not to mention, it was in a lounge which has glass windows and doors right by the elevators on my floor, so anyone that was getting on and off the elevator saw us. As we were falling asleep, I hear him say, I love you, princess. What? Just met that day 12 hours ago and now it's I love you, princess. What? Big red flag. This is when the queen of red flags appeared and I should have listened to the like ding 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 ding, like, hello, are you deaf? Are you blind? Do you realize what's going on, Gigi? Apparently not, because you know, I'm slow. And then the next day, he texts me, babe, wake the fuck up at noon. At 5:45, I'm on my way, just left work. I don't know if your phone is off. You're on your way where? What? Showed up outside of the door to my dorm building. The nice person that I am, I chucked him in. I was irritated. I did not want him here. I was supposed to go to a friend's birthday dinner and she leaves and I kept texting her. I was like, he keeps on trying to like sit in bed with me and cuddle. And no one crawls into my bed. No one sits in my bed. Unless we're really close friends, you're not sitting in my bed. I was just getting irritated at this point. So I like started FaceTiming friends. I FaceTimed Kim. I hung up with her and then I kept writing papers and he's texting me, give me attention, fucker. And I just saw the text and I ignored it. I kept writing my papers. And later on the night, I FaceTimed one of my close friends. My roommate had gotten back at that point. They were packing all her stuff and they were like laid out on the floor and I was sitting on my bed. So I keep FaceTiming and as I'm writing my papers and we're just carrying on a conversation, which mind you, while my roommate was gone, Tinder dude had gone on a phone call and he answers. He's like, yeah, I'm at my girl's place. Apparently it was me. Because then he texts me while I'm FaceTiming my friend. Babe, irritated face. Should have figured that out. My bad for not paying attention. You and FaceTime guy. I can tell you like him. Mind just telling me if I should back off? I don't like guessing. Back it up, my friend. I was like, he's just a friend. Listen, I'm not looking for anything. I was like, and you went 0 to 100 real fast. I'm not a relationship person. I don't do labels. And honestly, I didn't mean to make you feel bad. He's like, it's good, Gigi. Just be you. Just gotta get used to feeling someone out better. I thought my persistence finally broke through, but maybe I was a bit off. And we left it at that. And at that point, like, I'm looking at her like, kind of fucked up. Like, he's got the wrong idea here. He thought for the longest that I was still FaceTiming one of my girlfriends. And he walked over at one point. He was going to be all lovey-dovey. He looks at the screen and sees a guy on the screen. And that's when it flip fucking switched. I continued my FaceTime. Eventually, I hung up. And as I was hanging up, that's when it all went downhill. Like, flip fucking switched. Because then he started getting flirty with my roommate, which is why he then grabbed her laptop, the like teasing flirting thing you do in like elementary school. Apparently he thinks it's still a thing. Grabbed her and climbed into her bed. Then he comes back down, does this, walks out. Okay, like I get that like he didn't like me FaceTiming someone else, but like I made it clear that this was not a relation. Like I told him. So like I had made that clear. She's like, I grew up with brother. He's like, it's okay, I'll go talk to him. It's fine. Open the door and he walks in. He's like, hey, he's like, let's talk. I was like, what's up? I don't want to be that annoying guy that's trying to crawl into your bed. And he's like, I'm just trying to be your friend, princess. And starts trying to kiss me again. I was like, that's, like, you're not trying to be my friend if you're still trying to make out with me. That's not the way friendship works. Mind you, the reason he was talking about the crawling into bed thing is because he went through all of my text messages with my roommate when he grabbed her laptop and climbed into her bed. So he ends up spending the night that night. But things got real weird. She lays down. And then I lay down in front of her. He comes and lays down behind her. And then tries getting handsy. And that's when I was like, yeah. Mind you, I didn't find this out till the next morning. And then we're laying in bed and it was getting a little awkward. So like my roommate got up and left. And then he starts getting all up on me. And I was like, no. He's like, is that like no means no? I was like, yeah, no means no. He's like, it's not opposite day? I was like, no. And the next morning, she's like, shh. I was like, what? She's like, don't wake him up. And he wakes up. She gets so pissed. And she was out that door within like 3 minutes. I was like, she walks out. And then he goes and reaches into my bed. He's like, come here. And he pulls me onto the couch. And then it was a repeat of the night before all over again. Where he was, no means no. I was like, no means no. Have not changed my mind. So, clearly we did not hit it off well. I was drunk when I was texting you the first time. First day, 12 hours after we meet, he's saying, I love you, princess. And the morning after that, he's saying, girlfriend, my girl, my babe. And then you go up there, go through my text messages with my roommate on her laptop. Like, where do you think that's acceptable? But the creepy shit, that he went and applied for a job at the Target that I worked at. He plans on attending the same school that I attend this semester. So I can't ever get rid of the guy, apparently. So fans, employee turned Tinder match turned kind of stalker, because, you know, he sat where I work for a solid 8 hours of my shift. Got all handsy and flirty with my roommate. Ladies and gentlemen, this is why we don't do Tinder. Like this video, comment what you thought the funniest part of this or the creepiest part of this video was, because same. I will see you guys here in my next video. Bye. I don't know why I let that happen. You look beautiful. Are a sweetheart. You're pretty funny. You're straight up, and I think that's dope, and I hope there's a future here for us. But you text like a slug. You look like a Totino pizza roll, and you sing like a duck. Compliments and insults.